what do we have? You all know Fable games. So here we have, first of all, what goes by Bramble, the Mountain King. What I believe came our way no more than a month ago, but only with a screenshot. A horror adventure is what this game is touted at the moment, due out next year and into PCs, consoles, except Switch. Now, here's what actually it looks like.
So, any word on Kai? Or his supposed crash?
Don't, please. Nobody's ruled it a crash anyway.
What about narrative games? Survival, adventure, puzzler? Something. Yet we do have Arctic Awakening that's been in the making for a year now and announced no more than earlier at the Future Games show that happened March this year. Arctic Awakening is set in the year 2062 into an episodic structured open-worldy survival-ish adventure. Pretty unique so far, to say the least. This game is coming to all consoles and PCs possibly late next year.
God, you don't think he couldn't have done this on purpose?
Who knows? I never did understand that kid. Not really.
Well, at least he's not alone this time. Little Charlie and Amelia, though, they've been through so much already.
Maybe they're better off without him.
That's what Kai said the last time we talked, but
Let's face it, the little brother's pretty messed up. And who the hell knows where it really is right now.
There's a decent amount of games in the making right now as I'm speaking that will give you Cat. There's Stray, you all know Stray, just a few more, but the latest to join the scene goes by Light something, Black Cat and Amnesia Girl, in which you play as a cat and will help a little girl who has lost her memory. Look, this game is coming to PCs only, and that's happening sometime next year.
Equipment are all made using analog technology, so heavy, tactile, physical.
A retro-futuristic mix is something known to us since the dawn of media now, into a different timeline from ours, also based on a novel with the same name. We have here what's called The Invincible, a supposedly open-world FPS in the same vein as games such as The Outer Worlds. Check it out, this game is now targeting the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, PCs as well, possibly early next year.
Yasna, whether she likes it or not, plays a political role in this game. Besides a perceived tension between fractions, she has a lot of personal dilemmas to deal with. With The Invincible, our aim is to tell a cinema-like non-linear story, where the choices and decisions that you do impact on how the story evolves. We are creating a flowing experience with multiple story branches and multiple endings. We'll be revealing more of The Invincible as time goes on, giving you more of an insight into the story, the gameplay, and what you can expect on Regis Free.
It was a time when you were heartless, brutal, a monster.
Technically speaking, if you're into graphic adventure novels, films, and, well, of course, games, at some point in life, you must have come across The Wolf Among Us. I mean, I haven't played it either, but I've heard it's really good. Anyway, a Telltale series Among Us Wolf 2 is at the moment in development for PCs and consoles. Once again, it is alive and being made, but a release date for it is yet to be announced, so just keep it in mind for now. Hazel Sky, though, is, well, possibly the longest we've been actually waiting to have hands on this list, well, since it was announced a couple years ago. See, the game is a character-driven adventure, obviously a puzzler as well, which I think it's also fair to go and call it a AAA kind of puzzler, if, well, such thing even existed. But check this out, this game's actually coming out next year, finally, and into all consoles, PCs, and also the Nintendo Switch. Now, Planet of Lana just received an official 2022 release window as opposed to its to be announced one, and now on its way to both Xbox consoles and PCs. You can even wish this the game on Steam as I'm speaking. See, Planet of Lana is touted as a cinematic sci-fi puzzle adventure game, announced only earlier this year at the Summer Games Festival. In case you've missed, here's another trailer they just came up with. So, personal games. A game based on a childhood journey, the developer of which had, with his mom, not my words guys, is also in the making that goes by a Memoir Blue. Annapurna Interactive is actually involved with this game, so it ain't no kid stuff either. Memoir Blue is described as an interactive story, not an action game in any way, but probably a well-made one for sure. Here, this game's also coming to all consoles and PCs and possibly to out early next year.
He claims it's his fault that his daughter and her mother
There aren't any birth records connecting you to a daughter.
driving when their car went off a cliff.
Y'all who've already watched Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo film, because I haven't, so to speak, the franchise is getting a second life with obviously a video game adaptation that's touted as a mystery adventure. So if you're like me and new to the, I think, murder scene, remember, this game is coming to PCs December 16th with its console version coming out sometime next year. This is how it looks like.
My trauma, my room, my troubles. You got 1 hour. One. Because everyone treats me like I'm crazy?
Dr. Lomas? It's Sheriff Reyes.
Is Ed under investigation? Is he the suspect of a crime?
What do you want to know?
What do you want to tell me? Does she exist?
Tick tock, Doctor.
Alrighty, Microman is actually now set to be released not later this year anymore, but 2023. The folks behind the game just announced alongside another look, and the fact that this game is coming to PCs, the new generation of consoles of course, in addition to Switch. This game is obviously inspired by the classics you all grew up watching, but at the same time, is something quite new and unique in the gaming scene as developers describe. Check this out.
Tell me, what is it you want out of life?
If you're into point-and-click games, I'm talking Broken Sword, classic old school, Sunset Riders, Red Dead like point-and-click puzzles. Rosewater, so to speak, will only be released on PCs possibly later this year. If you can't wait to have a taste of the action either, go and run over on Steam. There is a playable demo for the game as of this moment here.
Dangerous? I do hope that's accurate. The path won't be straightforward. You'll encounter obstacles along the way, perhaps even some other dangerous people. You'll need some help, but I assure you the rewards far outweigh the risks. You will be richer than you ever thought possible, if you can deliver.
But you're not searching food just for yourself alone. Your clumsy cops are eagerly waiting for your return and the safety of your shelter.
Then there's Endling. On its way to Steam and the Epic Games Store as well, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and also the Nintendo Switch early next year. What about it? This game's about a fox trying to look after her cubs in a future where all animals, like, none of them's left. Anyway, the announcement came our way like a couple months ago. In case you have missed it, this is how it looks like.
The vixen will try everything to get it back. This is where your keen sense of smell comes in handy. You can sense the smell of your cub and can even sense some traces left behind. Dropped objects tell you the story of what happened at these locations. Your sensing skills are also very useful to find prey, as animals also leave a trace you can smell and follow. And you will need that skill, because your other cubs still need your attention. As they grow up, they will leave the shelter and accompany you on your nightly adventures.
You're itching to have hands on something like Playdead's Inside, do make sure to keep an eye out for Blue June. An almost brand new 2.5D story-driven adventure with elements of exploration, puzzle solving, and of course stealth and horror. This game is already on Kickstarter, playable through a demo even on Steam, with a full product scheduled for June next year, so keep it in mind.
It was called by the Greeks, Sardo by the Canaanites, Sandaliotis or Griophelps, Sardinia.
Saturnalia, however, which was supposed to come our way with a demo all the way back in 2020, now has a release window of late 2021. Funny enough, Saturnalia is actually this Roman festival holiday kind of held in the honor of the god Saturn. See, this is a survival horror adventure though. In case you're new to, this is what it's really about.
A rolling fold of observance and abased shame. Old rites pervade here, chief among them a carnival, with as many names as this island, as many rites as stones in an arage, Lucinata, Sol Invictus, Yule, St. Lucy's Day. Saturnalia, the celebration of the winter solstice, the birth of a new sun, the death of the past. Feast and revelry abide in unrepentant chaos, masked abandon, animal ritual, a terpsichore of release and revelation. Release and revelation.
Last but not least, one hand clapping, which is actually available through early access. It's been a while actually, has a full finished product scheduled for next year as well. What it is a vocally platformer puzzler in which by actually singing into your microphone, and you do actually need one, you can basically change the world around you. So yeah, just in case you've missed.